Hi, I'm Evanne and welcome to the RV Cooking Show, a place where we can share our passion for RVing and our love for recreating regional food specialties right here in my RV kitchen. In this episode of Food, Fun, and Friends at Flying Flags, we're going to tour the area without even getting in our car. I love that. My perfect day would start with a nice long walk around the resort, warm sun hitting my skin, and I'd stop to visit with my fellow campers. Next, I'd take a swim, soak in one of their 2 hot tubs, and a quick shower. Then it would be off to a late breakfast. Hungry? Located literally a 2 to 3 minute walk from Flying Flags RV Resort is Ellen's Danish Pancake House. Ellen's has been around. It's in fact a valley landmark since the 40s. So let's go inside, let's learn a little bit about Danish pancakes, and let's have some breakfast. Ellen's is almost always hopping, and I chose to sit at the counter. Ayla, my waitress, recommended the Ellen's Special, thin, crisp Danish pancakes, very different than the fluffy American version. I ordered mine topped with fresh blueberries and real whipped cream. They arrived as beautiful as I expected, and I was excited to give them a try. Absolutely delicious. A local taste sensation not to be missed. I met my new friend Bobby at one of the Flying Flags live events, and he mentioned the Mendenhall Museum. It's right across the street from Flying Flags, and he said we absolutely needed to go there. So, after breakfast, we strolled over to the Mendenhall. The Mendenhall Museum has one of the West Coast's largest Petroliana collections, including antique gasoline pumps, beautiful glass globes that sat atop the pumps and are quite valuable, park signs, road signs, license plates, and more in the many, many museum rooms. Started by the late Jack Mendenhall, the museum sits on the original site of Jack's wrecking yard and is now operated by his son Mark. Mark lives on site and is delighted to schedule tours for individuals and clubs alike. It's a museum like no other I've seen, and bringing your camera is a must. You'll even get up close with the P. Soup Anderson Special Dragster. What a unique place. It's a definite wow. Yesterday we decided to take a walk, headed out of Flying Flags, turned left, and just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road we came to Rancho de la Vega, Mosby Winery. Bill Mosby produces some very unusual varietals for the San Ynez Valley and agreed to sit down with us and tell us a little bit about them. You have a long history here in the valley. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I came to the area in 1959 because I got tired of the rain in the state of Oregon. And there was a place open. See, I was a dentist first.
Okay.
And so I was looking for a place to practice in Lompoc. And as the children grew up, I wanted to have, keep them out of trouble. So I bought a place and eventually planted grapes on it. At that time, there were just a handful of us. I could actually count them on one hand that were growing grapes. And we were trying to sell the grapes after a while, and we were talking to people to come on down with a wine and build a winery. And no one would come down. So we ended up selling our grapes to people up north, and eventually we decided all of us had eventually built our own winery. So from 0 wineries when we started till now there's over 100 wineries in the area. It's been a lot of change.
Now you grow some different varietals. Is that true here?
Yeah. Right. I planted, Riesling and Gewürztraminer and Chardonnay. And Pinot Noir. I had to do what everyone was doing in the area. And on a trip to Italy once, I just says, I'm changing. I'm doing something different. I'm tired of the same stuff. And so when I got back, I changed the name of Vega Vineyards, was the name of the winery, to Mosby Winery, and started planting Italian varietals and Dolcetto, Tirolgo, Pinot Grigio, Cortese, Nebbiolo, Sangiovese, How many more? Sagrantino, the only place in the United States that grows Sagrantino right now. I should say the first. I think there are some now are planting Sagrantino.
Wow.
So,
how are those wines different than, say, the Pinot Noirs or some of the other varietals that are really well known here?
I think they're a little bit more acidic, different flavor profile, certainly. Definitely food wine.
When exactly do you make the wine? What's the seasonal flow of things?
We start with the Traminer usually in the middle of August, and then we end up right the end of November with the Cortese, which is another white grape. It's slow to bud out, it's slow to harvest, and yeah, so if everything came off at once, we couldn't handle it because we do so many different varietals that it just proceeds through those 2 or 3 months. So yeah, check the labels. The labels are fantastic, made by Robert Scheer, an artist I met in Italy. He's famous over there, and he's kind enough to do my labels for me.
Really?
So, yeah.
I noticed they're sort of angelic.
They are, aren't they? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there meaning behind them? Or just beautiful art?
Beautiful art. I mean, he tastes the wine, and then he goes to bed at night, and he thinks about it, and he gets up in the morning, and he starts.
Really?
Yeah, he's a fantastic man. Like I was at Vin Italy with him, and he would just upset when he'd see a row of bottles, all the same label, but different varietals, but all the same label. It's like, no, the label should express what's in the bottle.
Right.
And when I've seen some of his artwork, it's like, man, I have to make wine that's going to live up to that label. So it's kind of a double whammy for me.
It's only right that a fabulous day end with a fabulous dish. And today I'm going to show you how to make something that I love, a piadina. Piadina is almost like an Italian taco. Now, piadina is really a type of flatbread that they make in Italy, and I can't often find actual authentic piadina here in the US, so I use a Mediterranean flatbread, and it's still delicious. I'm going to show you how to make our piadina right here inside on my stovetop. Now, you can make it outside on your grill, but what happens is you want your flatbread to be nice and warm and soft and pliable, and sometimes if you don't watch it like a hawk on the grill, it gets a little too crisp. If that happens to you, it's not a big deal, but instead of a folded piadina, you'll have a pizza. So let me show you what we're going to do to make our fabulous Italian piadina. What I've got here is a dry non-stick saute pan, and I've got it over rather low heat. I'm going to take my flatbread and I'm going to put it right in my saute pan. I'm going to let it warm up for about 30 to 45 seconds. I just want it to get nice and warm and soft. Perfect. Now we're ready to top our piadina. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn our flatbread over, and I'm going to brush it with just a little bit of high quality extra virgin olive oil, just for a little flavor. Now we're going to top it with our cheese. What I'm going to use today is a delicious Fontina cheese. And if you've never used a Fontina cheese, I have to tell you that it reminds me of Munster cheese. It's mild and soft and delicious, and it melts like you wouldn't believe. I've also got some burrata, which is a fresh mozzarella, and inside the mozzarella is a cream. It's almost like a ricotta cream. So right on the top, I've sliced that nice and thin. We're going to add some tarragon next, because Bill Mosby told me that the beautiful dolcetta that we're going to be having today pairs perfectly with anything that has tarragon in it. And last, we're going to put some dry toasted unsalted almonds. These will add just a delicious nutty taste. Looks absolutely fabulous. You can see the cheese is nice and melty. Okay, now we're just going to do something so simple. We're going to take some fresh arugula. We're just going to put the arugula right on the top of the piadina, like that. I'm going to open up my Mosby Dolcetto, and I'm going to pour a nice glass. By the way, if you didn't see the gorgeous labels that Bill was talking about, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Designed, by the way, by the same man that designed the Chanel No. 5 bottle. How do you like that? I've got a delicious lemon vinaigrette that I made this morning, and I made this with some extra virgin olive oil, super high quality from my friends at Global Gardens. It's got some honey in it, some shallots, some fresh lemon juice, and some Dijon mustard from El Rancho Marketplace. It's going to be great, but I'm not going to pour it on top of my Piadina because it gets really messy. I'm just going to do it bite by bite. Well, here we have our delicious little Italian delight, our Piadina. We're going to enjoy our Piadina today with some Mosby Dolcetto. You can learn how to make this Piadina as well as our lemon vinaigrette. Learn more about Mosby Winery, Ellen's Danish Pancake House, and Mendenhall Museum on our website, www.rvcookingshow.com. You can also watch this Food, Fun, and Friends at Flying Flag series on Flying Flag's website, flyingflags.com. Like us on Facebook, and we're so glad to have you here. Thanks for watching the RV Cooking Show. Salute!